Coming up on Local 5, blocked. A Wisconsin judge says not so fast to Wisconsin's order that gatherings be capped at 25% capacity. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Michele McCormack. Tom Zaleski has the night off. And we start with the latest in the coronavirus pandemic. A judge in northern Wisconsin has blocked Governor Evers from limiting the number of people who can gather in bars, restaurants, and other indoor places. Court records show the Sawyer County judge granted a temporary restraining order this morning. The Tavern League of Wisconsin is suing the administration, saying the order is a de facto closure. An Evers spokesperson says the ruling will be challenged. The next court date is set for Monday. The Tavern League says Wisconsin businesses are already following guidelines to provide safe environments. Meantime, Wisconsin coronavirus hospitalizations reach an all-time high. According to Wisconsin's Department of Health Services, there are 1,017 patients in the hospital for COVID-19. 246 of those patients are in the ICU. There are more than 3,000 new positive cases reported today, bringing that total to over 158,000 since the pandemic began. And 28 more Wisconsinites have lost their lives to the virus, bringing that total to over 1,500. Medical facilities across the state are feeling the strain today, so the state's COVID-19 field hospital is now open. The facility ready to accept 50 patients on this first day, as long as they were referred by a medical professional. More beds will be added if needed, but no walk-ins will receive treatment here at the state fairgrounds just outside of Milwaukee. Healthcare officials, in collaboration with the Brown County Health Department, came together to discuss the hardships of COVID-19. Faces of COVID-19 is about the frontline workers who are with patients and come into direct contact with coronavirus. One doctor says it's not about the number of staff members they have, it's about coming together and doing the right thing.
You know, do you guys have enough beds? Is there enough staff? Is there enough this? Is there enough that? And I keep saying, you know, we're not going to win this by more ICU beds. We're not going to win this by more hospital beds. We're not going to win this by more staff. We win this by coming together, by all of us doing what's right and what is correct.
This is the first of many planned conferences with local frontline workers. Because of the pandemic, the Brown County flu shot clinics are being held outside this year. They did a test run today just to get the word out about how important and easy it is to guard against the flu. Free vaccines are available to anyone 6 months and older while supplies last, and you never even have to leave your car. Nobody's quite sure what to expect with so much coronavirus activity, but medical experts are leaning towards complications brought on by influenza.
We know that people can experience serious complications from the flu, including death, and that's just a typical year. So now when you add COVID on top of that, it's even more important that we focus on what we can control, get the flu vaccine, and do our other measures to stay home when sick, washing hands often.
The first clinic will be Thursday, October 22nd from 4 until 6 p.m. at Edison Middle School. The second clinic is Saturday, October 24th from 10 until 1 at Green Bay West High School. The West De Pere School District says folks who had been in quarantine have now returned to safe status, and in-person instruction resumes October 19th. The superintendent has sent out an email to families announcing the decision. West De Pere went to remote learning October 1st after an increase in activity of COVID-19 throughout the community. Students and staff will still need to wear face coverings in all school buildings and follow social distancing when they return to class in West De Pere next week. A reminder from your local election headquarters. Today is the last day that Wisconsin voters are able to register to vote online or by mail for the November 3rd election. Online registration has to be completed by 11:59 tonight. Voters may also mail in their registration. Paperwork must be postmarked with today's date in order to be valid. You can find all registration information by going to myvote.wi.gov. Brown County election officials say they've sent out close to 70,000 absentee ballot applications. More than half have been returned. You can also do same-day registration on Election Day in Wisconsin. And Local 5 continues its in-depth look at the questions on the local ballot. The Marinette School District is asking voters to consider an almost $31 million referendum that will reshape, or as they put it, right-size the district. Local 5's Erin Taylor explains.
We're looking at downsizing from 6 buildings to 4 buildings to best serve our kids.
The Marinette School District is looking to trim away 2 buildings. But to do that, they'll need to update the schools that they're planning to keep.
The operational expenses at those buildings are quite high. So by closing those buildings and modernizing the other buildings, we feel we can modernize our learning environment for our students.
Garfield Elementary would be one of 2 schools to close.
Garfield, I believe, was built in the 1930s, so it's a pretty old building, and the classrooms are quite small there.
The Sunrise Early Learning Center would be the 2nd building to close. Those closings mean the district would switch up how students are distributed through the remaining elementary schools.
It would not be based on geography, it would be based on the grade levels.
All students in early education through 1st grade would attend Merriman Elementary. All students in 2nd through 4th grade would attend class here at Park Elementary. Additions will be built onto Merriman and Park elementary schools.
You can now have all grade level teachers in one building where they can collaborate together and determine what's best for the needs of our students.
The district's middle and high schools would serve the same grades, but would receive renovations as a part of the $30.9 million referendum. As for mill rate, the district could see a 93-cent increase from its current $8.73.
That's about 7% below the current state average. So we're in a very good spot.
In Marinette, Erin Taylor, Local 5 News.
Thank you, Erin. District officials also tell us that by moving all the students in each grade level into the same building, they would be able to better regulate class sizes. Keeping it local now. Grand Chute police have arrested a 75-year-old man on child pornography charges. A tip through the state's DOJ Crimes Against Children Task Force sparked this investigation. The man is accused of distributing child porn more than 150 times over 3 months. Investigators are still tracking down the 500 internet accounts that received the videos. Police are urging parents to check in on their kids' computer activity on a regular basis. The Fox Cities Performing Arts Center is conducting its Center Stage program for the 5th year in a row. It's a unique collaboration between the Fox Cities PAC and area schools to bring to life what students are learning in their classrooms. The workshops will happen, but it will be virtual, and some of them are about preparing monologues. Others teach about the technical aspects of theater.
It really helps these kids who have a passion for the arts be able to express themselves. It's not always all about sports, and so it's kind of nice to have something that in this area that revolves around the arts.
There are 24 schools participating, the most of any year for this local program. The Packers coming off a bye week to face the Buccaneers. Be sure to tune in to Green Bay Nation here on Local 5 at 6:30 tonight. M.K. Burgess, Marcus Eversole, and Andy Herman will take a look at the matchup and the Pack's hopes of remaining undefeated. Green Bay Nation right after Local 5 News at 6 tonight. It's one of the top reasons folks go to the eye doctor. Coming up in Health Watch, the answers to why your eyes feel so dry. And later, another marathon session at the Supreme Court confirmation hearings. We'll have the moments you might have missed.
Gusty winds continue to sweep through, and now the cold air starts to blow in. When to expect highs in the 40s and where snow could mix in this weekend. The forecast is